Alright, we are back again with another game. This time we're going to be looking at Axies the Collector. He's going to be playing a Clinkz. He said he watched my other video. I did go over another Clinkz. That was like the very first one I did, I think. So he said he went over, he watched it, and he tried to implement it himself. He said he thinks his items needed work. His team was talking to him about it during the game. He thinks he should have gone for a Scotty over a Desolator. So we'll see how this goes already. You guys are just killing it right now. Getting a nice bounty rune. Looking like gonna go. Alright. Alright. No idea what happened there. Alright, so a Scotty over the Desolator is something that he brings up early on, and we'll kind of take a look at that if we can here. While we're just watching some laning going on. So Scotty, not that bad. I guess I should probably wait until the time. The Scotty would be pretty good for tankability against the Void, and potentially in the Legion ulti if you get caught in that. However, they are going to have some really high armor targets later on. Like this Tiny is going to have probably close to like 20 armor later on in the game. This Legion's going to have some pretty ridiculous armor as well, depending on what she builds. There's going to be one AC on the team no matter what, right? And it's a pretty good attack slow. Like 45 attack slow is actually pretty ridiculous. But I think this game, you guys are probably going to have to... The only way you guys win this game is by not going late, right? Like, they literally have 4 of the strongest late game heroes in the game, right? Like, they've got Meepo, which if this guy's a good Meepo, it's absolutely disgusting to play against Meepo late game. They've got a Void, same deal. Tiny, even worse. Legion, if she snowballs, she's like the hardest thing to deal with because she just one-hits your supports and gets even stronger, and that's really annoying. So really, the Desolator, in my opinion, is probably the item this game, because you and the Brood have to do a lot of work split pushing, and you especially have to try to do a lot of work ganking. So, you know, we'll kind of take a look at how this goes. You go for the Basilius first. Looking like you want to go for the straight Aquila. You buy the boots there. You probably could have bought them in the side lane because you don't have a courier, so you're just going to have to wait longer. Not that bad. Your laning's going pretty well. You could probably be harassing them a lot more with the Searing Arrows because they have pretty low armors right now, right? Like, I don't know what's going on over here. But, like, Searing Arrow isn't going to proc the creep wave, right? Like, it's not going to take any orb attack, Searing Arrow, OD's orb, whatever the heck that one's called, Silencers, Glaives of Wisdom. It doesn't pull the creep aggro, so you can walk up right here and start hitting this guy with Searing Arrows, right? And that is what you do, obviously. But, I mean, like, you can do it more aggressively without the Lion Stun. You can just... You got to be careful not to just right-click them. You have to be using Searing Arrows, or else you will get caught out. But you should be fine. You got plenty of regen here. This guy actually already got his passive, which is pretty funny because that's really not that great early on. But whatever, we'll just keep on it and see how everything goes. What? That's a hook. You should probably just be running right now. Be very careful of where that hook is going to be. Keep eyes on the pudge. You got to be a little bit careful. It's not like a small mechanical thing, obviously. Just make sure you're bringing your things off of the courier right now. You've had stuff on the courier for way too long. I don't know if that's because your team's been bringing it in and out, which it seems like they have, but like the courier's back. It's going back mid. I have no idea what's going on. Just call for the courier. Tell them you have like 1,000 net worth of stuff on the courier and you would like to use it, and you're finally going to grab it, so that's good. Looks like you're going for a soul ring. I don't mind that whatsoever. Not doing too bad here. And don't be afraid to roam around just because, like, oh my god, I can't believe that they keep taking that courier from you. Don't be afraid to roam around, like, just with the items you've got here. Like, you actually have a lot of damage as a Clinkz. If you get a large creep, maybe wait for, like, treads or something like that, but if you get a big creep, you actually hit pretty hard. Like, you already hit for a little over 70 damage or 80 damage, whatever. A little under 80 damage. Plus the Searing Arrow modifier, which is another 50. And if you eat a creep, a big creep, like, now you're hitting ridiculously hard. You're hitting for, like, 180 damage, right? So there's nothing wrong with roaming around early on. And like that, you're going to get a nice roaming kill there. Like, the other Clinkz stays very static in his lane. This game, I don't think it's that necessary. This game, I think your best option here is to gank as much as possible. Gank these heroes. Like Faceless Void's pretty hard to gank. But the Meepo is pretty easy. The Pudge has like no armor whatsoever. The Pudge should be like a prime target because you can just blow him up like ridiculously easy. And like he's just a silly hero. And you're going to find an Invis rune. You're going to get dueled, but you don't die somehow. I have no idea. I think that guy stunned up and that actually saved your life. This is a beautiful fight to take right here. This Meepo should just die. And yeah, so like the damage you have right now is huge. I don't mind the fact that you're going for an Orchid at all. I think it is very worth it to buy treads though on Clinkz. They do really make it a lot more efficient for you to roam around and do stuff. The Pudge, I have no idea what just happened there. But there you go. So you're working towards your Orchid. You got the Oblivion Staff. You know, it's not bad timing for like a 1.5k MMR game whatsoever. I think you're doing alright. You're probably better than that now. You're probably at like 1.8, maybe 2k. But yeah, it's not bad whatsoever. You're farming pretty well, moving into the lane. Not doing too bad. You should probably be pressuring a little bit more. Because if you look at it, like, you're farming pretty well, right? And there's nothing wrong with farming at all. Hitting creeps is always good. Like, it's hard to lose if you're an item ahead of somebody. Like, it actually is. And, like, I didn't come up with that. It was Aoi. Like, I watch Aoi's, you know, talk about being good at Dota and what have you. And, one of the things he says is it's hard to be bad at Dota when you're an item ahead on somebody, right? And it's true. Like, if you're farming a lot better, it is hard to be bad. Like, if you're an item up, if you've got Orchid and, like, treads, and they've got, like, treads, it's hard to lose, right? Like, you're always going to win that fight. So, just farming's great. But look at the enemy team, right? Like, they've got a Meepo, they've got a Void, they've got a Tiny, and they've got a Legion. Like, all these heroes are going to rotate into the late game exceptionally well. So, you need to really be farming really efficiently, or you need to start pressuring them, because the only way to slow them down is to kill them, right? And it's going to accelerate your farm because you're going to be killing them. You're going to be getting a few hundred gold each kill, and you're going to be slowing theirs down, right? So I'm not sure I really agree with just farming the jungle here. I don't really like it that much, just because, like I said, they're getting the same amount of farm as you. Like, they're all grouped up here, which is pretty ridiculous. And because they're all grouped up here, you should be bot lane. Like, 200%, you should be hitting this tower. Clinkz does stupid damage to towers. And this is why it's important to understand, like, mana conservation and stuff like that. Because if you have quite a bit of mana here, if you've got treads and you've been tread switching, you know, dropping these items and soul ringing, and you're getting the most out of your mana, then you probably have a lot more mana to go and fight over here, right? Like, there's a huge fight going on over here. This is just, I don't even know what's going on. The Broodmother got a triple kill, but ends up giving up that triple kill anyways. And yeah, the Pudge got the killing spree, which isn't that big of a deal. But, like, your team's affording you all this space, and you're not really using it, right? So there's kind of an issue with how you're using the space that they're giving you, and this really isn't the way to do it by just staying in your jungle. So keep in mind, you know, pressuring the jungle, stuff like that. You're still farming pretty well. Looks like you're going to go fight mid here, and watch how fast this Pudge is going to explode, because you've got level 4 searing arrows, and oh my lord, his damage is pretty scary as well. And wow, you got to be a little bit more careful with your positioning. You didn't even eat a creep there, which is pretty huge. If you would have done that, you would have been like way ahead. You shouldn't help this guy because you might die here. Oh lord, that was so close. You probably should have died there, honestly. So Meepo gives up a mega kill to somebody. I'm not sure who. I have no idea. It really doesn't matter. You TP bot, which is like super heat because you're almost dead. But I do commend it. Not enough people do that, and it ends up working out. So you're running towards mid. Not bad. Your creep wave's at the tower. You should be yelling at your team right now to help push or to help you fight right now. You really need to eat a creep and start pressuring a lane. If you're not going to pressure a hero, you need to pressure a lane. It looks like you're ready to do so. You're going to eat the creep, clear the camp. That's good. And now you're going to go where? So you're ready to go for a kill, switching around your Orchid. This guy mid should be dead. So he's going to get sheeped up. You don't even need to spend the Orchid if you don't want to here, which you don't, so that's alright. You can honestly just turn around and right-click that guy, which you don't. If you do spend the Orchid, it's a lot safer, so maybe just go for it anyways. But again, you can eat a creep in another like second. I think I don't agree with the max skeleton walk build here. I think 2 points is enough. Like 25 seconds and 22% move speed bonus is actually pretty huge. Strafe is a lot better. The fact that it goes 4, 6, 8, 10, like 2 second duration, as well as the cooldown, especially if you're going to be ganking and pushing, you really want that cooldown and you really want the lengthy duration, right? So you got to keep that in mind, especially if you get dueled. If you get dueled and it's only a 4-second strafe, it's not really going to help you out, right? But if you get dueled and it's a 10-second strafe, then the Legion's probably thinking, why the heck am I dueling this guy? So just something to keep in mind there. And we'll kind of watch how this goes. Not too bad. You didn't strafe right away. This Void, no, just barely catches you. That's a little bit unfortunate. You had a Wicked 6, so that kind of sucks. Perhaps if you eat a creep there. Let's take a look at this, actually, because it's pretty important to use Clinkz's ultimate, because not only does it give you the damage, but the important thing is that it gives you the HP as well, right? Like, the very important thing is that Clinkz has 800. You have 900 HP right now, and quite a bit of armor, actually. But you could have more if you eat the creep, right? Like, you're way ahead, which is very important here. I think this guy's got a blink now, so that's a little bit worrisome, but whatever. So we'll just not deal with that. It was just a kind of a shitty death. Everybody's allowed to die, so I'll give you that one. No big deal. Broodmother looking to push mid. She should have stayed top. And you're ready to rotate yet again. We'll keep an eye on the net worth chart here. You're still top, which is really good. Gonna do some ancients here. I don't mind that at all. Gonna use the death pact, and right now you should be ganking. Like, you're utilizing your jungle a little bit too much here. Looks like now you're ready to go fight with your team. You can easily pick somebody off in the back here. Looks like the fight's going on, but you know your team isn't really paying attention. This guy is probably gonna lose the duel, and yes he is. Venomancer getting that bonus damage. That's always nice. And look at that. Just look at how fat. Oh my lord, I have no idea what just happened there. What? Did that actually just happen? I have to play this at like 0 frames per second because I have no idea how you got hooked there. That's actually some shit right there. I honestly don't even know what to say about that. Like, I actually don't even know what to say about that. That was pretty silly. That hook should not have missed. Not only should that hook have missed, but that he should not have been there whatsoever. Like, there's 2 heroes alive. The fact that he killed you is actually pretty huge, but, like, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have been able to. He shouldn't have been there, and that hook should have missed. So, like, I don't even know what to say about that. That's pretty ridiculous. He dies anyways, so it's not that great, but, I mean, he does kill you. That's annoying. So, let's see how this is going. Not too bad. You're up here again. You're pushing the tower. You should be pressuring this tiny, honestly. You've got your helm. We'll see how you use that because there is a certain way to use helm as Clinkz, and hopefully you do it the proper way. You haven't gotten a courier to you yet. There it is. Alright. Helm giving you some nice damage. Look at you push towers like a good hero. Gonna go bot lane. Start pressuring bot lane. Split pushing really well. I like it. I like it. And there you go. Alright, so great that you got that tower. I do want to say though, honestly, just use Dark Pact. You've got a Soul Ring, and the reason why you get a Soul Ring is so that you can use Soul Ring and then use Dark Pact. So you don't have to worry about the HP loss. You can help sustain your mana pool. But really, even if you're not around a neutral creep, like, just do it to a lane creep. It's still going to give you some nice damage, right? Like, it's still going to give you a little bit of damage, but 65% HP is actually pretty huge considering creeps have like a few hundred HP, 500 HP. So that's pretty good, right? The HP bonus is nice. And the slight damage bonus is going to help pushing no matter what. So that's going to be good. Pressuring the lanes, not doing too bad. Still going. You aren't using your Soul Ring or your Helm. So the reason why people get Helm on Clinkz is because, unless there's been a change, because I haven't played Clinkz in a while, but you can use your Helm on the creep, and it gives it bonus HP, right? Like, a lot of people don't really notice that, but a dominated unit gets 500 bonus HP. So you dominate it, and then you Dark Pact it, and you get 65% of its dominated HP, which, if we take a look at, like, a large creep right now, like this Centaur is going to have 1600 HP. You're going to get 65% of that, so you're going to get, like, 700, I think, HP. It's probably somewhere around 700 HP from that. And that's pretty huge, right? Like, they get it for the lifesteal, the armor, the damage, but a huge thing is that you dominate a creep and then you eat it. You get a lot of HP from it, and you're super tanky later on in the game. This guy should go down. You've got your Orchid off cooldown, so you're using it, so it's doing a good job, blah, 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 blah. You're killing this tower. You guys are doing a good job here. Yasha, I'm not really sure what the Yasha was for. I think Boots of Travel would be super sick this game. Okay, so the Bloodseeker grabs a Deso, and that's when you don't need the Deso. Like, if you're going to go Deso, you need to grab it right after the Orchid because it's going to start falling off. like later on, it's not going to be as effective. It's still going to be good, but heroes are going to have a lot more armor. And so are the towers, right? Like the tier 3s are going to have a lot more armor, so it's not as useful. So if you're going to grab a Deso, you need to get it later on. If the Bloodseeker, you know, communicates that he wants to buy a Deso, you don't need to get one, like at all. You actually just don't need to get one. So that's not bad. You get Treads, could be better, could be worse, I guess, but I think Boots of Travel, probably the item. Get a nice Orchid on this guy. He's actually backtracking so much, and that's pretty ridiculous. He had a chance to ult you, but he doesn't. And you're doing a pretty good job of farming as well as getting kills. The Pudge, is he going to be able to kill you? No, he's not, so that's pretty sick. I'd be super hyped about that. And you're going to move back into the jungle. I'm okay with that. Jungle up, get your HP, save up some mana, and just continue to fight. You don't need to use Searing Arrows on creeps that small. It doesn't really help you that much. You're going to go for a crit next, which I'm okay with. Not doing too bad, not doing too bad. Still doing alright, finding some kills. You could easily blow up that Legion. I would probably save the Orchid though for the Clinkz, or sorry, for the, yeah, that guy that's poofing you and killing you. I'd probably save the Orchid for him. That was a little bit sketchy. You probably should have gone on the Meepo first, because you have a lot of damage to blow him up. But whatever, so it's going alright. Looks like you guys might starting to throw this game a little bit, because they have a ton of late game. It's getting to that time where it's going to be a lot harder for you guys. The Pudge is doing God knows what. You're getting your Daedalus, which is pretty sick. I really don't think Scotty would have been that great here. Yeah, the attack speed reduction is pretty good up against these heroes, mainly Tiny, but it's not going to be that great. We'll take a look at that, because that was a little bit unfortunate. So you're TPing in here, and if you click on this guy, you probably notice that he's hitting for like 400 damage, 500 damage, almost 600 damage actually. So there's no reason you should be here, like actually no reason, because he's just going to eat you alive. You go for the kill, and Craigie doing what Craigie does best, and it's going to give you a 25% stun chance. So that's pretty annoying. 25% stun chance. That's why that kill is never going to work. Even if you had BKB, you were going to die there. And it takes like one swipe for him to just take you out, because he's hitting for 600 double damage. Good rune. And we'll just keep on going here. See how it's going. Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. I think if you want to get like really good and into what would have been a super sick item here, Medallion, like the upgraded Medallion Solar Crest would have been like so good. You've got 4 heroes that rely on right clicking, and you're going to be giving them a mischance. You're going to be giving them negative armor, and they're just going to blow up. It allows you the opportunity to Roche. It allows you the opportunity to give these heroes that require hitting you a mischance, and it tanks you up as well. So you have more armor, they've got a mischance, all that fun stuff. So something to keep in mind is that Solar Crest is a ridiculously good item on Clinkz that not enough people get. Still farming, gonna get a sick double kill there. You gotta be careful, the Meepo was there, and I don't think you had any idea of what just happened. So, just being a little bit more aware that they both just blinked in behind you. It looks like you probably weren't paying attention, but they just kind of walk on you and kill you, and you're probably like, what the heck? They had invis runes or something, a smoke, I don't know, but no, they just... Did that actually just happen? Huh. Honestly, you should be dead right now. The Meepo, if you chain net, you can't really do anything to get out of that. You're pretty much dead. So, a little bit odd. You're going for the Deso now, but it's way too late. You should have got it earlier on to help pressure, and the Bloodseeker's got one anyways. This guy could turn around and kill you, remember that, but it looks like you don't get... You actually do get Craigie, but you get a nice crit because Daedalus is a sick item. And you're just farming around, looking to kill the Void. You're going to kill him as well, getting some nice picks. Got to be a little bit careful. And it looks like you're going to win this fight anyways, because Bloodseeker's a pretty good hero. They're starting to GG out, and it seems like the game is almost over here. So, you guys are doing a good job. You're pressuring well. Got to be a little bit careful of your positioning here. Even though it seems like the game's over, all it takes is one lost fight, and Tiny's going to do tiny things and hit buildings and kill everything that you ever loved. And you're probably going to be pretty sad about it. So, doing a good job. The Deso's a little bit late. I didn't check if you guys win or lose. I should have paid more attention. And there's the dominating, and I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess and say that you guys probably lose this game. But maybe not, as it looks like here you go. They're wiping you guys multiple times, and yeah, I think this is probably going to be when the end is nigh. So here we go. They're hitting your towers, and you guys are going in, and you're probably going to die. So, okay, alright, okay, alright. No idea what's going on. This guy's going bot. You're still alive. You're going to get another double kill. This team is throwing. You guys looked like you started throwing, but no, the game isn't over yet. Everybody's still in it, and it looks like what's happening right now, you're going to get a nice kill. You're going to get caught out and dueled. You have buyback, though, so it could be worse. They get top racks. Mid racks is down as well. Actually, that's the range racks. No, that's the melee racks mid. Yeah, so you got the melee racks mid. So you're 1 and... If you want to be... No, you're like 1 3/4 racks up, because I'd say racks should be divided into 3/4, 2 of them being melee, 1 of it being... Or sorry, oh my god. Let's just forget I said all that. You're a racks and 2/3 up, because racks are like kind of like thirds. Like melee creeps are kind of like 2 and range creeps are like 1. It's not really a half because melee creeps are worth more. And it looks like, yes, you guys actually do lose this game. So what happens here? You guys lose 2 very important heroes in high ground defense. You've got no Venomancer to set up. I have no idea what he's building. And you've got no Broodmother to be split pushing or to help pressure them. And your Bloodseeker has no TP. So your base defense is essentially 2 heroes, yourself and the Lion. And what can you do? Nothing. So realistically, you should just give up the racks and not die, because your next item is very important in this game. And it looks like you do try to go on somebody, but the tiny stuns you, and it looks like you're going to die. So the one item we actually didn't discuss is a BKB. And there's no reason that a Clinkz doesn't need a BKB, right? Like, you're a pretty squishy hero, and they've got a ton of stun. They've got pretty well... The only thing that goes through BKB, I guess, is Chrono and the ulti from the Dismember. But if they spend that to kill you, like, they're going to spend it to kill you whether you've got BKB or not, right? So a BKB really would have helped out for the rest of the stuff. The poofs, the hooks. I can't believe I just witnessed that. This guy probably has Hex or something to save you, but he's not paying attention. He does it way too late. It's going to help you against everything else. The Bloodseeker's here way too late. He honestly needed to get here like 9 years ago. He's going to rupture this guy. I can't believe this game's not over. This is a freaking banger, and would have been a great game to cast. But we're talking about a replay, and we're still going. So you lost like 4,000, 3,000 gold there. Oh my lord. I actually want to be silent and watch this game because it's pretty crazy. But you lost a lot of gold from your buyback death, and it looks like this game is still going. It is not over yet. This is epic. I would actually be having so much fun in this game, and it looks like they actually just lost. You survive, and wow, you guys win. So, alright, so a couple things here. Could have been a much easier game. First of all, don't utilize your jungle so much. You probably could have pressured the map a lot more. Second of all, just be a little bit careful with your positioning. You did get caught out a couple times there, specifically at the end, which could have spelled the end of your game, but it didn't. You guys end up coming back, which is great. Congrats to you guys. Another thing is the items, getting the most out of them. So the Helm, remember to dominate a creep and then eat it. You'll get a lot more. Try to have your ulti off cooldown for as little time as possible. You want to consistently use it because 1, it's going to save you from a gank. 2, you should be pressuring the enemy anyways, so just having the bonus damage is great. Map awareness seemed fine, except for that one point when they just jumped behind you and you didn't notice, but you lived anyways, mainly because of their poor play. But you did a pretty good job. The Deso was late. You didn't need it. The Bloodseeker already had one. You never want 2 Desolators, or like 99% of the time you don't want 2 Desolators. Not sure what the Yasha was going for. Manta wouldn't have been a good idea here since they don't really have anything that you need Manta for, and it's not particularly good. BKB would have been great. Sheepstick as well. A lot of people think Sheepstick's only like an intelligence hero item, but Sheepstick's fantastic on Clinkz because if you find a solo pickoff, you just walk up and sheep somebody, they're dead. You're a Clinkz with a crit stick, hopefully an eaten creep, and a Sheepstick. Like, what are they going to do? They're just going to sit there as a little pig, and they're going to die. So keep something like that in mind. BKB, Sheepstick. I guess since they already had a Deso, Scotty probably would have been the better decision. But realistically, your build should have gone something like Orchid into Deso, and then Helm after that if you want to grab it. You don't really need it that much. helm after that if you want to grab it. But the desk was really going to help you pressure the map and the towers as well. So keep that stuff in mind. Playing a little bit more aggressively, not staying on your side of the map as much when you're a hero like Clinkz with the early farm that you were awarded, and try to make the most out of it. So thanks for watching my other one. Hopefully you get a little bit out of this one. Maybe you merge the two together and you learn something just generally about how to play Clinkz a little bit better at around the 2K level, which is probably what you're sitting at right now. So good game. Hopefully you had a ton of fun, because it was actually a lot of fun to watch. Like, that would have been a great game to cast. So thanks again for sending it in. I'm not really sure. I think your name was like Paradox or something on Reddit. So thanks. I'll call you Paradox. I'll call you Axies, whatever you want. But a good game to send in. I was able to go over a few things there, and hopefully you learned something as well. So here's to you getting better. Thank you for sending it in. Thank you everybody for watching, and keep an eye out for my other videos, because I'm doing a ton of them today, and they will be up later on. So take care, guys. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. I have my series From Lane to Lane, where I just cast some everyday pubs that you guys send me. I also do some more professional pubs, like games from Koikva, Miracle, whoever I can get my hands on from Dodobuff. I have a learning series as well, so feel free to check that out. There's some more info in the description, as well as some videos linked in the annotations at the end here. Thanks a lot.